Hello, I'm Blackfire, and welcome to a game called Dawn Chorus. Usually, I would go through the synopsis and have a little bit of background on the game, but today we are going in completely blind. Let's get started. Content warning: this game contains strong language. Okay. I like the art style so far. Dawn Chorus is being currently worked on by Hariva is your guy, and Unseconds. This is a demo. Yeah, start. How to play. This is an interactive fiction game. Total playtime for this demo is 20 to 30 minutes, depending on how fast you read. Please play with the sound on. It's even better if you have headphones for this. Usually click on the screen with the mouse to advance the text. Occasionally, you will have to click on hyperlinks to advance. To start the story, close this window using the close. Oh my gosh, why am I dyslexic? Why am I reading it like that? The X closed button on the top left, or click continue. Gotcha. Dawn Chorus is a story set and crafted. Wow, can't develop with these instances. Alright, okay, I need to read faster. 10 spots to see NYE fireworks in Melbourne. So this would obviously take place in Australia. Ring in the new year with an actual bang. We've collected 10 underrated secret spots with optimal views to see the big and loud light show, and they're all free. Click here to find out more. Pick a building. There's a whole skyline at your disposition. Just make your pick. Given the occasion, you could try the tallest one in South Bank if you want to, but well, you're late. Reckon 108's gonna have heaps of people already. Yeah, Eureka, it is. Try the second tallest building in South Bank and break into it. It's piss easy these days. They don't bother having security around anymore because everyone knows the rich cunts aren't coming back. And it's not like anybody really wants to live in these buildings now anyway. The panoramic view of the bay makes most people feel sick. 9. Okay, I would think these are like steps. Get into one of the service lifts. They're ugly metal boxes that really make you feel the pull against gravity. It won't take you straight to the top, but it's better than braving the endless flight of stairs like you would in some of the worst off neighboring buildings. Your friend Max holds the door open for you, then mashes the closed door button as soon as you step in. Okay, so this is Max and the guy is Nick. Come on, Nick, hurry up. We're gonna miss it. If only we just left earlier. Oh, well, we're here now, aren't we? Punch in the highest accessible floor and watch the numbers go up on the display. 8. Get off the lift and into a series of service corridors and emergency staircases. The signage is usually pretty good in these buildings, so even if it was your first time, you could tell which way's going to take you up. Still, try not to get lost. You've done this before, and Max has this uncanny sense of direction. She says she has photographic memory or something, so you don't even need to look out for the signs. You can just run up. Everything's a blur except Max leading you the way, the only focal point you've ever needed. 7. Open up access to the roof and take a big breath. It feels good after being cramped in dusty spaces. Oh, I love this music. Kind of like lo-fi. You can hear voices beyond the threshold. Obviously, there are people here already, so as predicted. Some are probably familiar faces, but you can ignore them. It's dark anyway. 6. Find yourself. Ooh, this is gorgeous. Find yourself a spot to sit with a good view. If you're new to this, you want to pick somewhere nice and cozy, with solid ground under your feet and all that. Or, if you got the guts, which you do, or if your usual spot's taken, which is also true, go for a ledge that's a bit more exposed to the wind, induces a bit more vertigo. 5. Oh, this is cute. Look at them at the corner. It's quiet up here, except for the wind. Next time, you should bring a jacket. Feel the pull of your feet dangling off the ledge, the whole city, and a 300-meter drop below you. Don't look down. Don't be stupid. Instead, let your eyes scan the horizon, taking in the view for the first time since you and Max got up there. 4. To the east, the new city. A mirrored extension of the original one they built hastily for the people who had to move because of the floods and the dredge and the need to huddle up together somehow. 3. To the north, a giant park reclaimed by the bush, bordered by the parts of town that were left unchanged since before half the city's population fucked off to space. Heritage on top of heritage on top of heritage. Carton rainforest. Unique. Man, I really fuck with this art style. This is so cool. The shading and everything, like whoa. 2. To the west, the port. Its colossal cranes and city of containers half submerged, left abandoned to rust and rot, standing desolate against the permanent twilight. Beyond the port, across the brackish estuary, home somewhere. 1. Don't look south. Don't look towards the bay. Don't look at the aurora. Look at Max instead. She stares back at you, takes a sip from her beer. Her gaze then shifts southwards, and she smirks. The air is charged with anticipation and... oh, the fireworks, come on. Happy New Year! Okay. As the fireworks end, you hear cheers from people below in the streets. Max stands on the ledge and bows, facing the city. Thank you. She then turns to you, sits back down, clings your stubbies together, and grins. Happy New Year, Nick. Happy New Year, Maxie. Don Chorus, oh. What do you reckon Tasmania's like? Max hands me the sunscreen, still rubbing copious amounts of it onto her nose. It's a sunny day in summer, which means a large chunk of Melbourne's population is relaxing in parks and ovals around the city, including Swanston Street Park, our current favorite. Tasmania? Yeah, what do you reckon they're up to? I don't know, Max. I hate this type of conversation, trying to figure out what's beyond the aurora, where it came from, what it is. All this talking about what would happen when it finally reaches us, all that stuff. I don't want to think about it. There's only now and all the stuff that was here before that we don't have anymore, and that's it. Max is fascinated by it. Sometimes I wonder if she does this just to piss me off. Have you ever been? Yeah, with my parents. Before, when I was a kid. I'd seen a normal aurora then. Regular old southern lights. I wonder if it's empty now. Or maybe the whole island's gone. Max wonders, putting her sunglasses back on as she watches a group of people throw a football to each other across the street from us. Hey mate, can we enjoy the sun and the grass and not talk about morbid shit? It's depressing. Max smirks. Speak for yourself. I'm welcoming it. I'm sick of waiting for it. We're sick of waiting for the end of the world. Yeah, I need it to happen now. I hate when she says that. Connect. Grapevine. Excerpt from the autofiction memoir Dawn Course by Alice Roman. Year for 2064. 2064. When the aurora first appeared on the horizon, nobody knew what it meant. But somehow it still felt like a foregone conclusion. It felt like a novelty then, when leading scientists and military organizations alike flocked from all over the world down to Melbourne to study it. Before then, we lived through life with the understanding that exciting events only ever happen elsewhere. The excitement turned into something else entirely when they announced the aurora was the vision of a future cataclysm. Oh my gosh, cataclysm. Cataclysm. We all saw the projected dates of when our world would end. People naturally left Melbourne, some moving further north or moving continents, hoping that they'd somehow be spared, that the city isn't, as some predict, merely the epicenter of a spreading disaster. For the rest of us who stayed behind, accepting the new normal was surprisingly easy. The world's dying, but, well, you still have to make dinner every night and pay rent every month somehow. I was 8 when the Bureau of Meteorology added aurora progression to the weather forecast. Analysis and theories on how the phenomenon might work became boring as we casually counted down the years to when it was predicted it'd finally be above us as a local alternative to the Gregorian calendar. The aurora still to this day hangs in the sky. A Damocles sword of celestial proportions dangling above us. It's been 20 years and we're still here, still counting down the years. Of course, I would be remiss not to mention the effect of the hums to return to Melbourne. The hum. The archived encyclopedia. The hum is persistent and invasive, low frequency humming, rumbling, or droning, noise audible to many but not all people. Hums have been reported in many countries, including the United States, the United Kingdom, Australia, and Canada. They are somehow named according to the locality where the problem has been particularly publicized, such as the Taos hum in New Mexico, the Windsor hum in Ontario, and the Melbourne hum in Australia. Melbourne hum. The Melbourne hum is a phenomenon that was first reported in the 1970s. The number of reports declined in the 1980s until they surged again in the 2060s. The nature of the phenomenon is unknown, as some have dismissed it as psychosomatic description. The hum has been described by various reports as a low throbbing or pulsating noise, often compared to an idling engine, although some notably describe the sound as harmonic. Collected data. Descriptions of the Melbourne Hum. Excerpt from data collected by Dr. S. Hung, computer engineer and Hum researcher at the University of Melbourne. Like an eye-dialing bus or other such large vehicle, but muffled and distant. A low droning sound. I don't know if it's in my head or outside of it. Sounds like a consistently buzzing swarm of wasps. Thought it came from within my walls. I even called a wasp net removal guy, but they didn't find anything. So yeah, it sounds like a lot of wasps. It's not just the sound, it's the vibration too. It's intermittent, but I find it hard to focus when I hear it. Low rumble that sometimes sounds like a singing voice. I can't make out the words. I've been hearing it for so long now, I get words when it goes away. I think of it as an old friend. When I take the train, I hear it louder, especially in the tunnel between Museum and Parliament stations. I think it's underground. I think it's calling. It's calling me. Okay. Wonder what that's about. In popular culture, the Melbourne Hum is the subject of many urban legends and has inspired works of the art in the local poetry and literary video game scene. Welcome to my page, The Hum at the Heart of the City. This is my page about the Melbourne Hum. Touched on infinite ammo. Nick, I'm bored. What do you want to do tonight? Girl, we're trying to read. Girl, yeah, move this tab out of the way real quick. This is my page about the Melbourne Hum. I live here and I've been obsessed with it ever since I found out about it. I'm really envious of people who hear it. I've tried everything and haven't been able to tune myself to its frequencies. I wonder, does it only speak to people it's chosen? Is there a way to make yourself chosen? I've been reading a lot on the forums and whatnot, and I find it ridiculous that people would think it's just something industrial or worse, just in our heads. I also find it ridiculous when people talk about the hum being resonance of a room underground. What they say about it being some kind of wish-granting entity is insulting. Why do things have to be so transactional with some people? It's alive. Okay. Poetry, hold on. Brothers is like some sort of house. Background, me trying to make out the background, oh my gosh. Things are floating in the air. Pillars. A living archive document by Memore Vivante for Domino Club 2025 mentions doppelgangers, poetry, a city within a city, possibly the origin of the hum. On Imagine, portrait on Imagine Horizon. Literary video games. A non-fiction. Oh, this is such a cool photo. See two people standing there. We see the open crater looking thing. A non-fiction chronicle by Slipperman for Domino Club 2021 mentions possibly paranormal, subterranean activity, Melbourne life in the 2020s. Not you can run these things. That's cool. Okay, let's respond back. This is probably Max texting. Let's reply. There's a gig at the Bad Penny. Wanna go? Oh, I can't read. Retroflector. A distorted note still ringing in the air, the band steps off the stage. I like this bit. The ritual of both band and audience taking a moment after the show, the basking in the lyrian energy of it. Then, the magic fades when the venue's sound system starts playing music again, and it's time to pick up your gear and put it away, and the crowd goes back to the bar or for a smoke or go home. I wish I could play gigs again. When Cam was still around, we'd play shows all around the city, and that was the stuff. One time we opened for this other band in this weird bar in Collingwood, and Nick, I had meant to avoid running into people, but well, you can't escape for too long in a venue like this, in a city like this. So there's gas coming out of the green room waving at me. It's been ages. How have you been? Hey, Gas, you guys were good tonight. Cheers, mate. We did all right. Gas smiles. You were gone a while. I guess it makes sense, but still, I was thinking about you. Here, I'll shout you a bear. I'll shout you a bear. I've never heard. That's how Australians talk. I've never heard that. I'm all right, mate. Just take the damn bear, Nick. This is why I was avoiding people. You dip out of the scene for a few months, and then when you show your face again, people think it's time for a barrage of questions and catching up. I hope he doesn't ask me if I'm still making music. Are you still making music? How ironic of that. Fuck. Yeah, Max and I are still doing stuff with the band. We've been writing a few songs, you know? Guys, his expression shifts a bit. Oh, cool. He looks around. How's Magda? Is she here? Yeah, she's alright. She's around somewhere. Probably outside having a smoke. He crosses his arms, looking at me. I know he doesn't like Mags. Magda, huh? I should be walking away now, but I've had a few drinks and I'm feeling like taking the bait. Prod at the scab, why not? What? Nothing. I just don't know why you still hang around there. What's that supposed to mean? You know what I mean. I don't. What are you trying to say? Look, mate. You're a decent guitarist. Ditch Magda and join a real band. Man, fuck Gaz. Lynn's band is looking for a new guitarist. You should talk to her. Piss off, Gaz. Why would I do that? Period, Nick. Tell him to piss off. Because she's not a serious musician, Nick. Just because Cam asked her to join you doesn't mean you have to keep. Gas stops. I turn around and see Mags walking towards us. Wrap her own sunglasses on. Through them, she stares at Gas, saying nothing. The way she stands reminds me of a big kangaroo I saw in a video game once. Hey, Mags. Max stays silent, still glaring at him as she should. Fuck this guy. Fuck this guy. Me and my homies, we hate Gas. We hate Gas. Exit under the freeway. Dusk. The sun is setting, coloring the scene in warm hues as Nick and Max walk on a grassy patch. Oh my gosh, on a grassy path along a small creek under a freeway. It's late summer and the vegetation is dense. Nick is carrying a case of beers, adjusting the grip on it every now and then, while Max walks beside. Oh, does Nick have they them pronouns? Okay, let me be mindful of that. Besides them, with her hands in her pockets. Hey, what should we name our bands? Max gives Nick a confused look. What's wrong with the one we have? Well, it's weird to continue with the same name without, with one less member. It's not weird. Heaps of bands have done it before. Yeah, like who? Well, I don't know. Just know it's been done before. But you can't name a single band that's done it. Shut up. They continue in silence for a minute. Then Nick hands the grog box to Max. They pass by an old couple fishing on the creek. Wow, what are you thinking then for a new name? I get the pick. Lost Bangers. Camera curse. Loose balloon give up. Loose balloon, I think not. Camera curse, kinda cool. But for some reason I'm gravitating towards Lost Bangers. Lost Bangers. Now that is a good one. And when you hear the band play, it's like, hey, this is Lost Bangers. And it's like music you've never heard before, and so it's such bangers. Like, hey, Lost, okay, you know what, I'm gonna stop now. I'm gonna continue trying to set up the joke. How about Lost Bangers? No. Okay, that's right, Camera Curse. I just wanted to see. Even Max is not fucking with that. Like, maybe Camera Curse? Nope. Girl, I don't even want Loose Balloon. I should say give up, but I'm gonna say Loose Balloon anyway. Even though she'll say no. Nah. Alright, you come up with something then, since you're the fucking expert in band names. Yeah, alright, listen. I'm gonna come up with the best name. She goes quiet for a while, squinting into the distance as if the mere act of thinking is somehow painful to her. You can't come up with anything. Shut up. You can't. It's there, under the rattle and rumble of the trams, the invisible world. Buried rivers run under the city, an expensive artificial cave system few ever think about as they go about their everyday lives. Nick was 9 when they came across a book with an illustration depicting a cross-section of Melbourne's underground tunnel system, buried cables, utility corridors, underground train tunnels, and storm drains. They'd imagined themselves exploring the tunnels, charting forgotten secret passages like Cave Clan once did, always looking out the window when riding the train in the city loop, hoping to catch a glance of some other world. Wasn't until they met Max that they started actually getting out and exploring, bound by the inexplicable need to be where they're not meant to be. Max was never much of a drainhead. She prefers the thrill of breaking into and standing at the top of a building to the echoey wet halls of the drains, the city extending at her feet rather than being below it. It's Nick that always found the tunnels comforting. Sometimes they turn off all of the lights and sit in the darkness for a while, listening to the sound of the water around them, imagining that they're sitting in the core of the earth, thousands of miles within. Yeah, alright, give that a go. Max gives Nick a thumbs up from the far side of the tunnel, her headlamp casting light erratically as she nods. On the other side of the tunnel from her, next to Nick, Amp plugged into their guitar. They strum a few notes, testing the way the sound bounces around the walls. How does that sound? Yeah, keep that going, mate. Before the echoes of Max's voice can die out, Nick starts playing, and the sound fills the tunnel, making the air vibrate. It's a riff that had played once with Cam before, lonely and unfinished. Nick wonders if Max recognizes the tune, fucked up as it is in the warped acoustics of the drain. Above them, a couple of teenagers stop and listen to eerie sounds coming out of a grate on the corner of Lonsdale and Russell Streets. The rare office workers come out of revolving doors in their ridiculous suits, upholding an absurd vision of the past. The city at large carries on following its own indifferent rhythm. Dark clouds heavy with rain invade the northeastern sky. The last note echoes, sound decaying on humid walls. How was that? No response. Max is facing away from Nick, staring at something in the darkness beyond. Do you hear that? It's coming from over there. There's something in Max's voice. Fair? What? Nick then goes quiet, trying to hear whatever it is Max is preoccupied with. Nothing, it's just the sound of water. Except, it's noticeably louder than before. Nick shines a light into the stream. Is it going faster? Is it getting louder? Shit. Nick looks into the tunnel again. Max is gone. Max? Then a gust of cold wind makes the tunnel howl, and it confirms everything. They had checked the weather beforehand. Nothing on the radar had suggested even a drop of rain. It's been sunny for the past week. Fuck, fuck, fuck. Shit, Max. Flash flood. Where the fuck is Max? Nick runs into the tunnel, violently unplugging the guitar from the amp as they move upstream. They find Max standing in the darkness, headlamp off, staring into a side drain gushing with more and more water. She's wide-eyed and white as a sheet. Nick, can you hear that? Max, let's go, now. Nick grabs Max by the hand and runs. Another more violent gust pushes them downstream, suggesting that a mass of dark water is fast approaching. Fuck. Ooh, this is stressing me out. Like, oh my gosh. Okay. Nick and Max lie down breathless in grass. Nick inspects their guitar for water damage, then sets it aside. Okay. That wasn't too bad. What the fuck, Max? Max pulls out her handheld recorder from her waterproof backpack. Look, it's fine. It's not fine, Maxie. I lost my fucking amp. Yeah, I know. Listen, I heard something. Max has a strange expression on her face. Is it the shock from almost getting caught in torrential rainwater, or something else? Down there, deeper in the tunnels. Did you hear it too? What the fuck is Max talking about? So, you hear your own footsteps on concrete and you instantly know where you are. Then it's the brackish smell of slit and sea. Oh my gosh. It's the brackish smell of silt and sea. The shipping containers stacked high, the massive cranes towering above it all. The sun is setting, bathing the whole scene in warm, syrupy light. The air is still as if the whole rest of the world is dampened, all sounds cast into a dead room. You know where you're supposed to go. You're all instinct and muscle memory. It's like you've always been heading there. She's standing there on the far side of the docks, turning her back to you and looking out into the bay. The aurora shimmering on the horizon beyond her. She looks so small against the immensity of sky. Max, you're walking faster and faster. Then you break into a sprint to catch up to her, and you think of all the times you've done exactly that. Following her down into train tunnels, climbing up those endless flights of stairs, escaping from the occasional security guard after starting a fight at a venue. Laughing, always laughing. You spend so much of your life chasing after her, and you find that you don't mind that at all. You never did. Max, hey. Dread mounts in your gut as you get closer to her. Fuck it, just rip the band-aid off. Grab her shoulder. Feel the warmth of her body through fingers clutching the fabric of her shirt, and turn her around to face you. You will yourself to look at her. Please be her. Please be her. It's her. It's Max. You can't fucking believe how glad you're here, but this isn't how it's supposed to go. She doesn't say anything as she looks at you, instead giving you this sad fucking smile that doesn't belong on your face like hers. It's wrong. This isn't how it's supposed to go. Her face blurs, her features smudging into a vague suggestion. You'll forget her face if you were to never see her again. Max, you still sense her weird sad smile on her smudged face. And you fucking hate it. You wish she was her usual self with her annoying smirk and the stupid defiant look in her eyes that always gets her in trouble. Not this ghost-like appearance, like someone else's wishful memory. A funeral portrait. You don't want this to be the last time you see her. I'm sorry, Max. I should have gone with you. No response. She's like a statue. You want to push her, make her react, make her say something, make her say anything. You don't care if it's embarrassing. You don't care if she laughs at you. I miss you. The sun is still setting, and at this point you don't think it'll ever go down. It makes you want to cry. Are you still? Oh my gosh. Jesus. Mom. We're gonna go around. We're gonna go around. Around. At this, Max shrugs in what you could only describe as slow motion and possibly slow. But this isn't how it's supposed to go. Finally, she opens her mouth and she says, Nick's eyes open and focus on the ceiling above them. Fuck. They stare at the stain on the ceiling for a few minutes, then close their eyes back again and wait for sleep to overtake them. Mate, Nick, mate, I fucking found it. So what was that? Exit oval aerial shot day. It's a warm late afternoon in early spring, and it's game day between the two of the oldest remaining VFL's teams down at the oval. Carleton is going against Geelong, who are leading the third quarter. The camera pans across the many people attending the game. It stops on Nick, sitting alone and watching the game with a box of chips on their lap, a curtain scarf wrapped around their neck. There is an open seat next to them. Max enters the frame and casually sits next to Nick. She's wearing sunglasses and a vintage Melbourne Storm jersey, visibly proud that she's completely out of place in her rugby league gear. Good day. Hey. They sit not talking, watching the game. Off screen, the opposite team scores a goal. Nick groans with the crowd. Want some chips? Yeah. Max grabs a couple of chips and shoves them into her mouth. She shifts on her seat, feeling a little awkward. How have you been? I've been alright. Played a few gigs of No, Nick. Who the fuck told you to go and play with gas? Played a few gigs with guys' band while you were gone. Yeah. They kicked me out though. Old guitarist wanted his spot back or something. Prick. They laugh. Nick glances at Max, a look of relief on their face before focusing on the game again. Under the cover of the crowd reacting to what sounds like a particularly good mark on Carleton's side, Max looks around suspiciously and produces a portable music player out of somewhere inside her jersey. She hands it to Nick, facing away from them in a sort of bizarre imitation of what she's seen in spy movies. Nick looks at it, then at her, brows furrowed in confusion. Take it. What? Take it. This is the stuff. Okay. Oh shit. The recording? Yeah, go on. Listen to it. You got headphones for this? She does not. Close up as Nick shakes their heads, chuckles, and mouths. Fucking hell, Max. They bring the device's tiny speaker to their ear and press. This is the play button. They strain to hear the sound coming out of the tiny machine, and as they finally start making sense of what they're listening to, Carleton scores a goal that turns the game around. The crowd goes wild. Mate, I can't fucking hear anything. What? What, you want to meet up during a fucking footy game? I don't know, it's what they do in the movies. The movies? Fuck, I missed you. What's that? Nothing. Max laughs. The quarter siren sounds. The sun stretches the shadows of the players as they walk back to their sheds. Nick and Max sit still as the crowd shuffles around them in the customary migratory movements of quarter time. Exit outside the oval, dusk. Nick and Max stand outside the entrance watching the footy fans walk home. Max lights herself a cigarette. She looks into the pack and counts the remaining ones. There's only a few left. What was it like? Hey? Underground. The hum. What was it like? Yeah, it was alright. It's between you and me. Not as good as the stories that go around. Besides, it wasn't as fun without you around. You're not gonna tell me anything, are you? Nah, I'm preserving the mystery, you know? You have to come with me if you want to know. Did you make a wish? Max shrugs, giving them a smug smile. What did you wish for? You know, to find my way back and all. Wasted my fucking chance, didn't I? Yeah, right. Smart arse. I know you wish to see my beautiful face again. Yeah, you wish. How did you find your way back? Photographic memory. It's quiet up here, except for the wind and every song it plays, blowing against the lightning rods. Okay, so we're back atop the rooftop. This time you arrived a bit early, and you picked a nice spot. This corner, sheltered from the wind, makes your jacket redundant. The city is the same as always, and for a split second you wouldn't find it difficult to believe that time has stopped or is stretching so far beyond your understanding that it may as well have stopped. The city suspended in time, caught in the aurora's shimmering veil of fish and white nets. Glance at your watch to make sure time's still ticking. 4 minutes to midnight. Look across the rooftop towards the access door. There, an unmistakable platinum blonde head. Max emerging from the depths, cradling a case of beers in her arms. She's grinning as she walks towards you. The city is the same as always, and for a split second, you wouldn't find it difficult to believe that time has stopped, or stretching so far beyond your understanding that it may as well have stopped. Wait. Oh my gosh, wait. I need to lock in. I need to lock in, because why am I rereading what I just read? Oh my gosh. Max sits beside you. Wordlessly opens a stubby with her lighter and holds it to you before doing the same for herself. Watch the city below you. Then watch as Max opens her crumpled pack of smokes. She smirks, turning it upside down and letting a single cigarette fall into her palm. Last one. How long have you been waiting for it? Couple months. Wanna drag? 1 minute to midnight. The air charges with anticipation once again. A wave swelling before hitting the shore. Look at Max. At her gaze inevitably shifts oh my gosh, look at Max. As her gaze inevitably shifts now south, just follow it. You both stare at the aurora on the horizon as the people around you count down, ringing in the ear and Don Chorus. I love that beat. Thanks for playing. Man, that was such a good demo. That was such a good, fascinating demo. I have to check on this. I need to know when the full game is coming out. I would purchase this. I would buy this if it costs money. I would giving them my money, giving the creators my money. I love the art style. I love the music. I love the chill vibes. I love our main characters. I love the dynamic they had. Whoa. That was such a gorgeous experience. It was just so chill, but entertaining. That was definitely a game very much up my alley. Well, this has been Don Chorus. Once again, I am Blackfire. Thank you for rocking with me today. Peace.